Hello, dear friends. Welcome to ZENPod once again. In the studios today, we have Amarjeet Singh Chawla, 61 years, very young, retired garment exporter turned filmmaker, and now a full time international road traveler. For those of you who know him with the better name as the Turban Traveller. At the age of 59, when people are retired and sitting at home, like he says, playing with their grandchildren, Amarjeet decided to follow his 40-year-old dream and passion of traveling around the globe by road using his own car. His belief has always been no journey is long when dreams are big and sky is the limit. To fulfill his dream expedition, Amarjeet started his journey in July of 2018 and drove from Delhi all the way to London, covering approximately 40,000 kilometers across 30 countries in Asia and Europe, passing through Nepal, China, Kazakhstan, Russia, Poland, Austria, Sweden, Norway, Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, Czech Republic, Hungary, Italy, Spain, Portugal, France, Netherlands, Denmark, and London. Whew, that's quite a list. He finished a year later in July 2019. Amarjeet is now on to a 7-continent road trip covering 200,000 kilometers across 100 countries in Asia, Europe, North and South America, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, Antarctica as a tribute to Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji on his 550th birth anniversary. Amarjeet's spiritual journey is inspired by Sahib Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji's 4 Udasis. He says, Guruji travelled for 28 long years by foot and we are doing the similar journey by car. It is a symbolic journey to spread his message of universal brotherhood to mankind, a message of equality, love and peace to the world, which are so relevant in the current times. In the first leg of his spiritual journey, he drove as a solo driver on the same car that was used for his Delhi-London trip that covered 44,000 kilometers. He was accompanied by his wife and a team of 3 crew members who were filming a TV show called The Spiritual Journey of the Turban Traveller for the PTC Punjabi channel. Amarjeet strongly believes that age is just a number and nothing can stop you to achieve and conquer what is yours. He says, dreams are beautiful and no one should stop dreaming in spite of lots of negativity in the world. In the future, Amarjeet plans to resume his road trip of 2 lakh kilometers, out of which he had already covered 84,000 kilometers across 36 countries. Let's welcome Amarjeet to the studios and go along with him on the lovely drive as he shares his experiences. Welcome once again to ZENPod. We have somebody very, very interesting, and he's someone who lives by the motto of miles to go before I sleep, and I think that perfectly fits him. Amarjeet Singh, welcome to the studio once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Venki.
Sir, I want to start with my typical trademark question. What is your definition of spirituality?
Spirituality means, the preachings of my Guru. Most of the people have different definitions of spirituality. Some people, everybody has got a different, meanings of spirituality. Mm-hmm. But to me, my first Guru, Guru Nanak Dev, whatever lesson he taught, and on his preaching, if I can follow him just to 0.01%, and that is spirituality for me. Because we hear so many things from our religion. Some people, they meditate, we do so many things, but we don't practice them.
Yes.
So for me, more important is if I'm spiritual, so I'm practicing those preachings or teachings, what my Guru has given to me. Then it's spiritual for me.
Wow. It's very powerful. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Take a little time and tell us about the evolution of Amarjeet Singh from where you were to where you are. I mean, you were leading a normal life like all of us. And then this whole thing happened. So tell us the whole evolution, sir.
Yeah, Amarjeet Singh's life, if you see, I was a normal guy, busy in my business. But I was very aggressive in certain things. Like when I decide anything in my life, I do it. So that's my past. Whatever I have done in my life, and I thought that I'm going to do it, I have done it. So after passing my school and then a college, then I joined my family business. We are into garment trade. And this was started when I was born 60 years ago by my mother. And she is still active. So I was into garment business, and I did production for about more than 25 years.
Okay.
Then later I realized this is not a cup of tea for me, because I never wanted to be a production guy. I wanted to be a marketing guy.
Okay.
So I shifted to marketing and opened up an office in the United States. I was in California, and and so on. And whenever I used to get a chance, I used to travel. Since we were into export business, so I got a lot of chance to travel. And one thing was very common. Whenever I used to travel anywhere, I used to make a point that I should not take a local, transportation. And I always used to rent a car and drive it.
Wow.
So, and I lived in America for a couple of years. So I had my car, which was left-hand drive. So it was very easier for me to drive wherever I used to go. So I've been driving since long. So if I just look at back, so my history is that I love driving.
Okay.
And then I met a girl, 40 years ago in 1979. She was a Dutch girl, and she inspired me. Her journey inspired me.
Wow.
And then I decided that one day I will go on a round the world trip.
Wow.
But things were not in my control. I was young, and I just passed my college, and my father told me to handle the business rather than roaming around here and there. So I said okay. And when I decided this trip, when I planned that I'm going to go to Delhi to London by road, then first thing what I did, I tried to find where that girl is. Her name was Julia.
Okay.
So, and when she met me, that time there was no internet, there was no cell phone. So I didn't have her contact. I just had her phone number, which I lost.
Right.
But I finally, I got her contact. I got her contact, and I went to Netherlands and gave her a surprise. So that was really the best moment of my life. And I don't know when it was changed from a normal businessman to a traveler. But when I look it back, I think this is what I really wanted to be. I never wanted to be a businessman. I always wanted to be a traveler. And this is what I am now, and living my dreams.
Wow, it's so beautifully put. Beautiful. I have got some interesting questions later on, but first thing that comes to me is, what does travel mean to you, sir? I mean, travel means different
Travel is my
people, yeah. But for you, what does it mean?
For me, travel is my life. It's my madness. It's my passion. I can't live without the travel.
Wow.
And it's not, and now I am full time into the traveling, so that's why it is very tough for me to stay home in this Corona time. But still, I'm just waiting. And, whenever this Corona is bit settled or the borders are open, I'm going to be back on the road.
Wow.
I can't sit idle.
Okay, I want to take you back in time, and I want you to paint a picture to the listeners about your first journey, sir, and what was your experience?
First journey, first international journey you're talking about,
Yes.
right?
Actually, it's your call. I mean, no, I'm actually saying the first journey.
I've been traveling all around the world.
Right.
In my whole life, I travel about 87 countries. And I drove caravan in Australia for a couple of weeks with me and my wife. We traveled on a caravan, on a motorhome. And wherever I used to get time, I used to take a long journeys by road. But the real journey which I really wanted to do, that was across continent from India on my own vehicle. So that journey I started in July 2018.
Okay.
So we were four of us, myself, and there was one driver initially who left after driving some couple of thousand kilometers.
Oh.
And there were two more guys who were shooting me. They were my crew members. So we were supposed to make a documentary film on the travel and the film industry both.
Okay.
So I never thought that I would be driving by myself, but thank God to the driver who was sick and left And finally the steering came into my hand. And then after I drove 34,000 kilometers by myself out of 40,000 kilometers. So that journey, when I was driving, you see, when you are driving, when you are sitting in the car and somebody else is driving, that's not your journey. You're just witnessing it. Right. But your journey is when you experience it. And sometimes I always say, when you do any kind of tour or trips, the planned trips, how one can enjoy, because you are going to go with a very, a very set plan. That every morning you have to get up at a certain time, and then you have to follow that instructions. You can't do anything of your own. How you are going to learn it? How you are going to get an experience? So you get experience, self-confidence only when you do it by yourself. So I always say, when anybody wants to travel from any place from India, I mean overseas, must do it by yourself. Then only you are going to enjoy it. So the journey which I did, that was beautiful journey. I never expected the way I was treated all over the world, wherever I've been, all those places to whom I met. I met many good people, not a single bad person. Wow. And some people ask me, what was your experience, any bad experience? So I do not have bad experience with people as such, but I do have a bad experience in otherwise, which I will discuss it later. Sure. But if I talk about my journey, that journey was so phenomenal. I can't explain you that journey, because once you do it, every country, when you cross it, you find a different landscape. You find different people, different culture, different food, different language. And that's so overwhelming. And the nature, that's amazing. So my journey experience, there was not a single bad experience in my journey, which I did. So that 40,000 kilometer journey, I started from Delhi to Nepal, and Nepal to Mount Everest base. From there, I went to Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, then Russia, crossed complete Russia, exited from Estonia, exited from St. Petersburg and entered in Estonia and European border. And from there, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, the 3 Baltic countries I did. After that, took a ship from Estonia and went to Finland, in Helsinki. And from Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, all 4 Scandinavian countries I did. And after that, from Denmark, I went to Germany and then Netherlands. So when we reached Netherlands, then I thought, oh my God. So we have left all those Eastern European countries. So I said, okay, let's go. We go back. So I crossed all over the Germany and went to Czech Republic, then Poland, Hungary, Slovenia, Slovakia, Austria, Switzerland. So when we were in Switzerland, we saw that we left Italy. So Italy was down south. So we traveled all the way from Switzerland to Italy, and then from Italy to Monaco, Monaco to Spain, then France, then Portugal, another corner of the Europe. And from Portugal, across whole France again, then Luxembourg, then Belgium. And then again went to Netherlands to get our car fixed because they sponsored us. And then finally came to France. And from Calais, we took a ferry and finally reached to London. So this whole journey was about 40,000 kilometers and 30 countries. And I did it in 131 travel days. But if I calculate total number of days, it was about 6 months, because 1 month I was in India when I was not well. I came back, and 3 weeks I stayed in UK. So altogether, when we started on 8th of July, and I came back on 31st of December. Yeah, 31st December I was in the flight. Wow. So that was my first journey, which I did from Delhi to London.
Wow. Yeah, I was just reading up 30 countries, and yeah, it said about 140 days, and that's a lot. Yeah. That's what I don't think, I mean, people do it. Well, if you add the aeroplane travel, then probably people do it, but that's a lot when you drive it and you're behind the wheel. Amazing.
Yeah, I was told that any Sikh gentleman of my age has never done this kind of journey from Delhi to London on these many kilometers. So it's about record.
Absolutely, absolutely. this is an absolute landmark, and everybody knows about you. I still want to
Yeah.
take it back, sir. When you
And
did,
and you know one thing,
yes,
one thing. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. One
no, no,
thing I would like to mention here: this journey was never for 40,000 kilometers. When originally we planned,
uh-huh.
this journey was only 23 countries and 23,000 kilometers. But
Oh,
when I got sick, yeah, but when I got sick in Russia,
mhm.
and we crossed the border because our visa was expiring, and when I reached Estonia, so my whole left side was getting numb.
Oh my
So
God.
I was advised to come back to India. So I came back and I was hospitalized for 1 week, and then 2-3 weeks I was on a rest.
Oh my God.
So 2-3 weeks I was on a rest, and finally after 1 month, when I was fine, perfectly all right, good to go, then I was told by my family that अब तो हो गया, अब क्या करना है, शौक पूरा हो गया, अब छोड़ो, गाड़ी मंगवा लेंगे वहां से. I
सही है.
said no, nothing doing. अब तो मुझे सारी दुनिया घूमनी है. And you
Wow.
know what I did when I went back? Me and my cameraman, so I told him, I said, Lukman, bring the map of the world. So मैंने मैप निकाला, अपनी गाड़ी के बोनट के ऊपर रखा,
My
और
God.
मैंने कहा गिन कितने कंट्री है शेनेगन में, हम सारे करेंगे. तो शेनेगन में
Yeah.
शेनेगन वीजा में आते हैं 26 कंट्रीज.
Yeah, 26.
तो हमने ग्रीस को छोड़ के, क्योंकि ग्रीस जाने के लिए हमारे पास रोमानिया का वीजा नहीं था, हमने सारा शेनेगन करा, एक भी कंट्री नहीं छोड़ा.
Wow. Wow. And this was after you got well.
Yes, when after I got well. And you know what, in everybody's life there is a moment come जहां पर आप टूट जाते हो.
Correct.
और ये जो जर्नी है 40,000 किलोमीटर मुंह से निकालना बड़ा आसान होता है. दिस इज
Yeah.
वेरी बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज होता है, इस फिजिकली, इमोशनली एंड फाइनेंशियली. तो
Absolutely.
तीनों चीजें इसमें इन्वॉल्व होती हैं, तो एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज होता है. और कभी कभी आदमी ये पंगा लेके बाद में फिर कहता है ओहो यार कहाँ फंस गया मैं. तो पर मेरी लाइफ में एक भी मिनट ऐसा नहीं आया था जहां मुझे लगा कि आई एम स्टक, या मैंने क्या पंगा मोल ले लिया. और हर आदमी के पास टूटने का एक मौका होता है. मेरे पास एक लेजिटिमेट वो था, स्केप रूट था लेजिटिमेट, कि भाई मेरी तबीयत ठीक नहीं है इसलिए मैंने बीच में छोड़ दिया.
Correct.
बट आई नेवर डिड दैट.
Wow. Brilliant. I mean, remarkable. Really, I don't know what to even say. It's remarkable. And you know, while this is a great thing, and I want to hold this at the back of my head, I want you to, sir, take us back a little bit about the first journey that you did. Tell us about it.
The first journey,
Yeah. However small.
first journey, overseas journey, I traveled by air. 1979. That
Wow.
was my blank passport. And when I was supposed to go to international road trip, and I was told not to do that, then my parent told me, okay, take a flight and go anywhere you wanted to go. So my auntie, she was living in Philippines.
Okay.
And you know, at that time also, I was the first time traveler.
Okay.
Never ever been anywhere abroad. My passport was blank. So me and my friend Kamal Jain, to whom we both planned to go together on a world tour by road. So we traveled together. First we went to Nepal, then went to Thailand. Then from Thailand he came back, and I went to Hong Kong, and then went to Philippines. My aunt, she was living there in Philippines. So when I went to Philippines, and they used to live, you know, about 150 miles away from Manila. There was a place called Los Baños. So my uncle, he was scientist there.
Wow.
So I never knew that how I am going to go all the way. I never informed them I am coming, but somehow I managed. I took a taxi and traveled all the way 150 kilometers from the airport to their house. And from the their gate of there's a big community there. So, and there was a guarded gate. So on the gate I called, and they said, from where you are calling? From India? I said, no, I'm just outside the gate of your compound. So come and receive me here. So you see, so that was the confidence. I was just 19 years old at that time. So that was my first journey ever, you know. And after that, I never looked at back. Then wherever I travel alone. All the, you know, ऐसे countries में जहाँ मैंने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था, ऐसे remote countries में मैं गया हूँ.
Fantastic. I want you to share now the lovely experience, and he's a role model and he's a hero for a lot of people. Your experience of meeting Arnold Schwarzenegger. Tell us about it. How was it? And
Arnold was, you see, the beauty of this journey was that nothing was planned. Some people, when they go, they plan a lot.
correct.
And I feel personally, whenever you travel, you don't plan. Don't plan means plan तो आपको journey तो plan करना पड़ता है जब यहाँ से अब जो pre journey आपको plan करनी पड़ती है. But once you hit the road, don't plan anything. Just go by the wind. तो वो जो मजा है वो journey का, वो actually आप explore करते हो. तो वो जो exploration का जो मजा है वो कुछ अपना ही कुछ और है. और I never thought that I am going to meet, out of 30, I think I met more than 24 countries, Indian ambassadors. I never thought in my mind, in the wildest dream of my mind, that I'm going to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger. But it was my destiny, so I will definitely call it a destiny. So somehow I came to know through one of the friend whom I met there in Poland. Yeah, not in Poland. It was in Hungary. Yeah, in Budapest. So this unknown guy came to us and he said, "You guys are traveling," and then he introduced himself. Then he invited to, his coffee shop, and then he said that he also belongs to a film industry, and he said, "I will give you some surprise. Come tomorrow." And when I went to his coffee shop next day, he said, "I'm really sorry, Amarjeet. I wanted to give a surprise, but unfortunately I couldn't manage." I said, "What was the surprise?" He said, "I wanted to introduce you to Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's shooting here."
Wow.
I said, "Come on, man. Now you have told me.
Yeah.
Now he said, you can't do it." And I said, "Okay, tell me where he's living." So he said, "There is a hotel right at the riverside." I just forgot the name of the hotel. It's just in my mind. Skip. So it's a 5-star hotel there, and you go there, and but he's leaving tomorrow. So next day is the next day, yeah. So I said, where is the hotel? Then he gave me the instructions, and he gave me a tip also. He said, when you go there, there will be a black GMC, black car,
right,
and it will be an American number plate. So if the car is standing there, it means Arnold is in. I said, fine, and. After 1 hour, we left the coffee shop and I went to that. I remember the name of the hotel now. It was a Four Season hotel.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went there and I saw the GMC car standing there, and I went inside and asked. Nobody was ready to give me his whereabouts because they have a protocol. They can't disclose the celebrities, the room number, or even they straightforward refused me that it can't be done. He's not here. Straightforward refused that he's not here. Then finally I saw one guy who was looking at me. He was a bellboy, and he came to me and he said, "You guys are from India?" I said, "Yes." "Can I take a picture with you?" I said, "Yes, of course, why not?" So he came and we were there, and he took a picture. I said, "Can you do me a favor?" He said, "What?" I said, "I wanted to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I know that you're not going to disclose it to me because I know your protocol, but can you introduce me to any of his crew members?" Then he introduced me one of his crew member, and then I approached them, and then I told my story to them, and then he said, "Okay, if he wants to meet you, then we are going to call you."
Nice.
I gave my number, and then we left. And when we left, and I said, "Oh my God, यार हमने उनका नंबर तो लिया ही नहीं. अब वो हमें अगर फोन नहीं करेंगे, then how we can follow him?" Then I said, "Never mind. If it is in my destiny, I'm going to meet Arnold, I will meet." And the same thing happened. After 1 hour, I got a call, and he said that, "You remember you met me there, blah, blah, blah. And please come tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock and you can meet him."
Wow.
And next morning we went there 8 o'clock, and he was late about 1 hour, but his van was coming in back and forth, and he was apologizing that he's late. And when he came, he apologized and sorry, I'm late. And then he was very busy. In fact, last night he met more than 400 people. And they shook hand. There's a protocol, so that he shook hand with everyone because that shoot was, finishing. He was shooting there for. There's a film called the last film of Arnold, Black Fate, or something like that. I think there's Black Fate or Dark Fate. So that was the movie he was shooting. And the next morning he met me and he was very excited, and he, we talk about a lot of things.
Wow.
So you can't shoot them. So we took a permission from him. Then we shot him. We took a couple of shots.
Wow.
And there are so many other information which I had kept it for my documentary where I'm going to release to tell the audience. So, and that's how I met him. And he was such a great person, such a down-to-earth person.
Amazing.
So, and we really enjoyed meeting him. And so that's how this meeting was, I will call it was destined for me.
Yeah, I saw the picture. It's such a beautiful picture. I mean,
yeah,
it's very nice, very nice. Yeah, this is when you feel. Yeah, it's quite you can't explain this, right? You can't explain the feeling.
Yeah, because sometimes you get some unexpected things on your platter. So उसका मजा ही कुछ और है. क्योंकि आप प्लान करके जाते हो और वो नहीं मिले तो आपको दुख होता है. और जब आप अनप्लान तरीके से कोई चीज आपको मिल जाती है, चाहे भले छोटी हो बड़ी हो, then you really enjoy that moment. And I really thoroughly enjoyed my moment, spending some time with him.
Turban Traveller, your title. Tell us about I love the title.
Yeah. It was not decided by me. It was given to me by a media.
Okay. Tell us.
I was in Holland. In Netherlands, there is a place called Heze, I believe. Yes. So I met somebody in Helsinki, a friend, my new friend. His name was Andre. So he was traveling from Estonia to Finland. So on the ship, he met me. And he invited me to visit him when I'm in Netherlands. So we didn't have a plan at that time, but when we finally about to reach Netherlands, I called him and he said, "Yeah, please, you are more than welcome." And we were supposed to stay there for about 1 day or maximum 2 days, but he never let us go for 1 week. Oh. And he organized all the media, and then mayor came to meet us, and then Toyota, the showroom's owner, he came and he met. And they gave us a free package of services till the time we were there. And when media came and they interviewed us, so next morning, there's a small town, and very nice little cozy town, about 150 kilometers away from Amsterdam. Okay. So next morning, when I saw Andre brought the newspaper, so he had 2 copies in hand and he was very excited. He said, "Amarjeet, look at this." And I saw on the front page, it was written, "The Turban Traveller is in town." So, so that's how I got this name. And when we went outside on the streets, so the people were looking at on our car, because our car is very prominent. Yes. Now the car has become a brand. So, look at this. This is the man. He is the Turban Traveller. He came from India. So that's how I got this name.
Beautiful, beautiful. I want to go back to my first question of spirituality, Mr. Amarjeet ji. A lot of travel, and however comfortable a travel, and yours is more, some of the travel becomes very arduous, very challenging, very difficult. Has spirituality helped you on a lot of these travels?
Yes, of course. You see, spirituality में क्या होता है कि you are very calm. जब आप spiritual होते हो, तो आपका जो fear of unknown जो है, वो चला जाता है. तो क्योंकि तब आपको मालूम होता है कि जो हो रहा है उसकी मर्जी से हो रहा है, जो हो रहा है अच्छा हो रहा है, तो आप you should not bother much. You have to do your karma only. Okay. So when you believe in doing karma, then you feel that you are more calm and you are more settled, and that helps you a lot, because we went through a lot of situations when we were traveling, and it happens with everyone. We met with an accident also. So the first accident when it happened, so my car was the backside of my car tire was punctured, and somebody else was driving. So it was just, and we were on a highway, 120 kilometer speed. So car was stretched up to the last edge of the cliff, and we were about to fell down. The car was about to fall down in the trench. So, but it just stuck. It's just like a filmy thing. Yeah. And when I was sitting on the next to the driver, and I looked at back in the side, and वो अपना 400 मीटर नीचे गहरा खड्ड था और पानी से भरा हुआ, और जरा सा गाड़ी वहाँ खिसकती तो अंदर चली जाती, तो मर भी सकते थे, टूर तो खत्म होता ही होता। तो जब हम वहां से फिर मैं क्रॉल करके मैं बाहर निकला गाड़ी से,
माय गॉड,
और सारे टूर को बाहर निकाला, और 20 मिनट के अंदर यू विल नॉट बिलीव माय कार वाज बैक ऑन द रोड। हम गाड़ी स्टार्ट कर ली और 20 मिनट के बाद हम लोग गाड़ी पे बैठ के चल पड़े थे।
माय
तो
गॉड।
पहली चीज है मेरे दिमाग में, जब वो हुआ एक्सीडेंट, तो मेरे दिमाग में जो आई वो ये थी कि क्या हो सकता था जो नहीं हुआ। सो वो एक बहुत बड़ी वो एक पॉजिटिव फील थी कि ये हमें गुरु ने ही बचाया, हमारी लक थी, हमारा फेट था, हमारा बिलीफ था। और ऐसी सिचुएशन में फिर आदमी पैनिक हो जाता है। सो आई वॉज नॉट पैनिकी एट ऑल। और जब मेरा दूसरा एक्सीडेंट हुआ तो उसके बाद तो फिर चीजें पूरी ही बदल गई। दूसरे एक्सीडेंट में मैं ऑस्ट्रिया से जा रहा था स्विट्जरलैंड, और मेरे को नींद आ गई, और उससे 5 मिनट पहले मैं अपने जो क्रू मेंबर से बात कर रहा था कि यार आगे ना 5-6 किलोमीटर में वो आ रहा है, रेस्ट एरिया आ रहा है, सो आई एम फीलिंग लिटिल बिट स्लीपी, सो आई विल जस्ट गो एंड हैव अ नैप। इट्स फाइन सर। मेरे मुंह में वो बात थी और मुझे वो झोंका आ गया नींद का। और वो गाड़ी स्पीड में थी, शाम का समय था, और वो गाड़ी साइड पे जो लगे होते हैं, बार्स लगे होते हैं, उसमें जाके यूं हिट करी। आज भी मेरी गाड़ी पे वो स्क्रैच अभी है, मैंने वो हटाया नहीं है। और वो गाड़ी वो कुदरती वो लड़का उस दिन आगे बैठा हुआ था। नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि जब मैं ड्राइव करता हूँ तो लड़के दोनों पीछे बैठते हैं, बिकॉज वो दे यूज्ड टू शूट मी फ्रॉम द बैक, एंड दैट डे ही वाज सिटिंग इन द फ्रंट एंड ही टुक ओवर द स्टीयरिंग, एंड मुझे एकदम मेरी नींद खुली और मैंने स्टीयरिंग पकड़ा। और फिर हम जब पहुंचे 5-7 मिनट में वो आ गया, स्टॉप आ गया जहाँ रुकना था हमें। जब मैं पहुंचा और मैंने गाड़ी देखी, और फिर मैंने सोचा कि अगर ये लड़का नहीं होता और वो गाड़ी वहां से टच होती और पलट जाती हाईवे के ऊपर, तो वुड हैव गॉन, क्योंकि चलता हुआ ट्रैफिक था, शाम का समय था। और उस वक्त भी मेरे दिमाग में फिर वही दिमाग में बात आई कि क्या हो सकता था जो नहीं हुआ। सो ये जो चीजें होती हैं, अगर आप स्पिरिचुअल होते हो तो आप पैनिक नहीं करते हो, तो आपको बिलीव होता है कि जो होगा ठीक होगा, या आपके लिए जो हो रहा है वो ठीक होगा। और ऐसी क्राइसिस लाइक सिचुएशन में आप हड़बड़ाते नहीं हो।
करेक्ट।
और उसके बाद मैंने ये सोच लिया कि दुनिया में आप कोई ताकत मुझे रोक नहीं सकती, क्योंकि ये कोई डिवाइन फोर्स है जो चाहती है कि मैं जर्नी पूरे करूं। And I followed my journey whenever we used to get up in the morning and I used to drive the car. मैंने आज तक नहीं सोचा था कि हम कभी भी नहीं सोचते थे कि हमें आज इतने 1000 किलोमीटर जाना है या इतने 100 किलोमीटर जाना है। गाड़ी स्टार्ट करी, भगवान का नाम लिया और चल पड़े। क्योंकि एक दिमाग में होता था कि अगर क्या होगा, ज्यादा नहीं पहुंचेंगे तो क्या होगा, रात को रुक जाएंगे, कहीं पर भी रुक जाएंगे, सड़क पे गाड़ी पार्क करके हम रुक जाएंगे। सो वो जो फील आप में होता है ना, तो आप पैनिक नहीं करते हो। सो स्पिरिचुअलिटी का या स्पिरिचुअल होने का, या आप स्पिरिचुअलिटी अलग, कई लोग योगा करते हैं, कई लोग कुछ करते हैं, तो किसी भी किस्म का स्पिरिचुअल होना आप में एक कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बिल्टअप करता है, और दूसरा आप में एक ठहराव लाता है ताकि आप पैनिक वाली सिचुएशन में घबराए नहीं।
Very nice. Very nice. Clearly, there is a bigger power. I think the Guru is with you all the time. Very clearly.
Yes. I totally believe in that.
Absolutely. What, sir, has been your biggest moment in life so far, till now?
Biggest moment of the travel, I can tell you.
Please.
That was the moment I can't forget. We were in Denmark, and we were at the gas station.
Okay.
So मुझे शायद Arnold Schwarzenegger से मिलने की भी इतनी ज्यादा खुशी नहीं होगी। Hello.
Yeah, I'm there, sir.
Yeah, I think there is a call is disturbing me.
No problem.
Yeah. So Arnold को मिलना जितना मेरे लिए इम्पोर्टेंट था, या जितना खुशी का मोमेंट था, उससे भी बड़ा मोमेंट था वो जब मैं किसी और बंदे से मिला डेनमार्क में। सो डेनमार्क में क्या हुआ कि एक तो हमारी गाड़ी जो है वो राइट हैंड है, तो वो कई लोगों के लिए सरप्राइज होता था।
Correct.
और क्योंकि हम वहां पर लेफ्ट हैंड ड्राइव ट्रैफिक में चल रहे हैं और राइट हैंड हमारी गाड़ी है, तो हम लोग वहां पर एक गैस स्टेशन पे खड़े हुए थे, और वहां जैसे मैं यहाँ से गाड़ी में अपना डीजल डलवा रहा था, और सामने की तरफ एक दूसरी एक लेडी थी, वो डीजल डलवा रही थी, एंड शी केम टू मी। मैं बाहर ही खड़ा था उस वक्त। तो she goes, are you guys from India? I said yes, this beautiful car, blah blah blah. So उनके साथ एक छोटा सा बच्चा था 5 साल का। Then she said कि can my son sit in your car? I said of course, why not? तो वो बच्चा था, वो पहले तो वो लेफ्ट हैंड की तरफ गया, तो वहां उसको स्टीयरिंग ही नहीं नजर नहीं आया। So he was bit confused and he was laughing, he was clapping. फिर वो साइड से आया और फिर वो उधर गाड़ी में बैठा, और फिर वो बाहर आया। तो मैंने उसको बोला कि क्योंकि जब भी हम जाते थे और मेरे को कोई ऐसे मूवमेंट आते थे तो मैं लोगों को बोलता था कि प्लीज साइन ऑन माय कार. मतलब सेलिब्रिटीज के अलावा भी जो कॉमन लोग होते थे उनसे भी मैंने साइन करवाए हुए. तो उसने बोला यस माय सन कैन साइन ऑन योर कार. तो उसने अपने छोटी छोटी हाथ उंगलियों से उसने लिखा नोवा, NOAH, उसका नाम था नोवा. और उसकी मॉम ने नीचे लिखा ड्राइव सेफ नोवा एंड कंपनी. एंड सडनली ही जस्ट डिसअपीयर्ड. पता नहीं कहाँ चला गया, मैं ढूंढते रह गए कहाँ चला गया. तो उसकी मॉम को मैंने पूछा कि वो कहाँ चला गया. तो वो कहता है, उसने बोला कि वो शायद चला गया उधर कहीं, गाड़ी में चला गया होगा. तो फिर उसकी माँ ने जो मुझे रिवील करा, वो उसको सुन के मेरी आंखों में आंसू आ गए और वो थमने का नाम नहीं ले रहे थे. उसकी माँ ने मुझे बताया कि उसका जो बेटा था नोवा, वो मेंटली चैलेंज था. और उसकी माँ ने मुझे ये कहा कि मैंने अपने बेटे को पिछले 8 महीने में इतना खुश कभी भी नहीं देखा है जितना कि वो आज खुश था. सो आई वाज जस्ट, आंखों से गंगा जमुना की तरह आंसू मेरे बह रहे थे. मेरे पास कोई शब्द नहीं थे बोलने के लिए. आई वाज सो मच इमोशनल. और मुझे एक ही चीज मेरे दिमाग में आई कि चाहे वो मेरी रंगीन पगड़ी हो, मेरी राइट हैंड साइड की गाड़ी हो, या इतनी फैंसी जिसपे बहुत सारे लोगों ने साइन करे थे वो हो, या वो उसका बच्चे का उस गाड़ी को देखना, कोई भी रीजन रहा होगा, अगर उस बच्चे के चेहरे पे अगर मैं मुस्कान ला सका, तो मेरे लिए मेरे ट्रिप का मतलब वहीं खत्म हो गया. सो आई वाज डन विद माय ट्रिप. सो वो मोमेंट मैं अपनी लाइफ में कभी भी नहीं भूल सकता और मुझे हमेशा वो मेरे दिल के करीब रहता है. और जब भी कोई भी मुझसे बात करता है तो वो मोमेंट मेरे लिए सबसे ऊपर है.
Beautiful. Yeah, so this is it does bring tears to the eyes. I agree with you. It's a very beautiful moment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry we have to take a break right now, but please don't go away as we will continue part 2 of our conversation with Amarjeet Singh, where we will talk about his way of spreading the teachings of his guru. What does love and universal brotherhood mean to him? His wish of a world without visas, where people can travel freely when and where they want. How does Amarjeet prepare himself for a major travel? What would he have been doing if he was not into travel? His inspiration, his journey across the 7 continents that has been planned, his important journey for the 400th birth anniversary of his 9th guru. What are some of the funny questions and anecdotes that he meets with people on his travels? The rapid fire, and finally his message to the listeners on belief, passion and obsession, if you may. So stay tuned and let's meet again on the other side of the show. Thank you. Have a nice day.